Hello Airsoft people! After my first steps in 3D printing back about 5 years ago and a long break because of the lack of ideas, I recently got myself a new printer. And the fever kinda got me again. Maybe I am not as deep into the topic as this guy.
This airsoft gun is completely 3D printed, the entire body at least.
But I still think I found some cool files online to print for my loadout and that I would like to share with you. Be it useful stuff for your Molle system, internals and spare parts for your Replica, or stylish externals. I would like to show you their main benefits and where you can find them. Keep on watching. The first printable has been on Thingiverse for a long time now. I still remember it from my first period of 3D printing actually. It's very easy to print, but still is a very handy little helper during some in-game situations. In case you are using fabric M4 mag pouches without any further option to keep the mags in place, you maybe experienced before the mags could come out of the pouch easily and get lost this way. This actually happened to me once just last summer. With those printable inlays, the mags are held in place a lot tighter, so the chance of losing them will be reduced. It's still comfortable to take them out of the pouches for a reload or refill. So for all of you who are using these types of pouches, the inlays are a 100% recommendation from my side. Another print I would not like to miss anymore is this Molle holster quick change system. It is especially useful in case you are using several gear sets with different belts, chest rigs or plate carriers and switch your holster's position in a regular manner. It consists of 3 main parts: a Molle plate to attach wherever you have Molle loops, a female part that sits solidly on this Molle plate connected by the Ammo Max or IMI Defense Standard adapter, and a male clip for each holster you want to use. If you are about to hop on a vehicle, for example, and need your holster with a backup pistol in a more comfortable position, you can switch it from the belt to the plate carrier within just 2 clicks. At the moment, I have installed the female pieces of this set in 8 different positions, while 2 holsters of mine are equipped with a male part. One multi-fit holster and a special one for the larger Norwich SSX-23. So, if you also feel you don't want to open your Molle webbings every time when you change your holster position, this printable could be just right for you. If you run a YouTube channel or just like to record airsoft gameplay to share it with your friends, you probably noticed how expensive it can be to buy the necessary adapter pieces for your gear. So this tip is not really about one particular print, but more about the printable category of action cam adapters, which can help you to save a lot of money compared to the purchase of new products. What you see here is, for example, a flexible TPU mount for the Runcam Thumb Pro camera, which you can attach to a Velcro surface. If I remember correctly, one is also included in the box when you purchase this camera, but there are also many similar files to download on Thingiverse, for example. Also for larger cameras, such as my DJI Osmo Action 5 Pro, there are a lot of adapters to download for free. This one in particular is meant to mount it on your fast helmet. The innovative one-piece print includes a flexible spring and fits my helmet plug and play, while a similar piece, bought online, would have costed me more than $20 plus shipping. Feel free to give it a try. Let's stick to the helmet a little longer and see which 3D printed accessories I added brand new for the recording of this video. You maybe noticed those zip ties on the helmet's side rails. Those were meant to hold the tubings of the Norwich anti-fog unit in place, so they would not wobble around anymore. Before I had the new printer, this was an acceptable solution for me, but with the possibilities of 3D printing, I think there is a much more elegant solution for this. When downloading this pack of files, you get several length variants that would fit either the long or the shorter side of your fast helmet side rails. They hold the tubing precisely in place without any wobble and look a lot better than the zip ties in my opinion. Now I just have to find a similar solution for my Bowman style headset to match the tubing holders better. Of course, you also can print countless of cool external parts to mount on your Airsoft Replica. Thingiverse and Maker World are full of great ideas. This is just the example of my MTW. Also because one user has asked for it in the comments. The following parts you see here are 3D printed. The tournament lock for the Wave X stock, the Picatinny rail and side pieces of the Bushmaster carbon handguard, which I did not do myself, the M-Lock front grip, and the pistol grip. Both the vertical front grip and the pistol grip are inspired by the DFCO Kung Fu grip and the Tiger Claw. I'm not sure if they are 100% replicas, but besides the surface pattern, which is different to the original, I think at least the pistol grip has been modified by the designer, so they would fit the cable for the little LiPo battery or the HBA hose, depending on the system you use. Although I think it's a little questionable to just take the idea of the manufacturer and place the file online for free, the original still is meant for the real steel market and not for HBA, so it's kinda justified in my eyes to have this modification available as a print. What do you think? Oh, and on the other side, I also added this alternative dust cover for the hop-up opening/shell ejection window. This one is a little easier to open compared to the original due to the extra groove on the outside. As I said, the possibilities for modifications are endless, even if you don't strive to print an entire replica's body by yourself. The ability to print Airsoft internals opens a whole new field of tech solutions and visions to you, if you are creative. For me, one of the most useful internal prints I was successfully able to install and use up to the present day is this adapter for the Wolverine Reaper M engine, which allows you to use it inside the MTW 308 DMR platform. Without this little piece of plastic, the engine would not be compatible, as the trigger distance to the engine simply is too long and would need this kind of a bridge to work properly. But this is only one of many examples how 3D printing actually can be used for Airsoft Replica internals. One more example I unfortunately missed to record was when I wanted to install an ASCU system into my Lonix M4 AEG in exchange for the Gate Titan that was in there before. Unfortunately as well, I forgot that the Titan does not require a mechanical safety switch, but with the ASCU there is no other way to put your gun on safe. And without buying a new one or opening another AEG, I would not have one of those safety levers around. Luckily, I remembered, hey fool, you have a 3D printer. A safety lever is nothing more than two pieces of plastic. Find a file online and print one yourself. And indeed, it worked. So the 3D printer and the safety lever file actually helped me to finish my project that evening. This example always reminds me now to think outside the box a little and use all the opportunities you have, resulting in a quite satisfying feeling in the end. For sure, you also know the issue of standard BB bags or containers. While typical BB bottles often have too small openings to fill the BBs into the speed loader fluently, from a plastic bag it's the other way round, and you most likely spill lots of your pellets on the ground because they are hard to control this way. This is where one of my most used 3D prints so far comes in handy, which is this simple but effective BB bottle. It comes with a double-threaded cap, which allows you to choose between two openings. The large one for refilling from the bag or a larger container, and the smaller one for filling your speed loader. In fact, I like those bottles so much I printed them in various colors for my different BB weights, so you easily can tell which weight you want to use on your next game day. The writing on the bottle's necks is something I added myself for easier identification of the BB weight inside. Every single one of those bottles can hold around 2,500 BBs, which usually is enough for a single game day in my case. You need more ammo? No problem, just print more bottles. The individualization of the type of player you want to be on the airsoft field is kinda important for a lot of people I met in the past years. No wonder Velcro patches and similar ways of let's call it personal branding, are very popular in the Airsoft community. When I took a closer look at our team's Velcro patch, made by a professional company, I noticed similar layer lines we also would find on 3D prints actually. However, I think it maybe only was the mold that was 3D printed and not the patch itself. Nevertheless, this made me think about designing my very first own brand articles for my YouTube channel. And this is something you could do as well in theory. I began with creating those little patches in slightly different sizes to find the most suitable size for wearing them in game. The smallest one seemed to be the most appealing to me. With some self-adhesive Velcro to cut in shape, the first official Rummbolt patch was born. And because it probably will still take a while until my channel is qualified for the Silver YouTube Play Button Award, I designed a little trophy-like figure for my bookshelf. What I want to show you here, it's actually quite easy, even for a non-professional like me, to create nice individual stuff which expresses your individuality both on the Airsoft field and abroad. Now that I have made my personal second attempt in 3D printing, I really must say, how did I manage to participate in this hobby so long without a 3D printer? Be it for taking, gear modification, or just some fun stuff, the sheer variety of possible use cases seems to be almost unlimited for Airsoft. I hope you also found one or two nice ideas in this video which you want to try out yourself, in case you already own a 3D printer. Or maybe I even inspired you to think about buying one, if this is not the case. Feel free to tell me all your thoughts about what you just saw in the comment section. Maybe you would also like to share some information about your latest prints? As always, I hope you had a good time watching and would love to welcome you on one of my next videos soon. So long, have a good one.